This tutorial will walk you through Teams assignments and how students find them, open them, complete them, turn them in, get their feedback from their teachers, and then maybe even turn back in again to improve their grade or to complete. Although Teams is only one of our tools that can be used for assignments, some teachers are using Schoology, some teachers are using both. We also have Mayan and iReady assignments. So there's a lot of different varieties of where kids could be getting their work from. So it's really important that they just listen to their teachers and follow the directions of what each teacher asks them to do as far as where to open their assignments. But this particular tutorial will walk you through the Teams part. Let me show you. So when you're in Teams, when a student is in Teams, there's two ways they can find their assignments. They can either go right to the backpack that has assignments that list all the assignments for every single class that they have and every single teacher. That's through Teams. Like I said, there's other platforms they could have assignments listed, but this is the ones where they will see their Teams assignments. It'll let the parents know when it was due, if it was past due, things of that nature. There's also a section at the top that says load previous. So if there's more assignments before the date that you're seeing, you can go back as far as you need to go. And at the bottom, there's also completed. If there's any completed assignments that that child has turned in, it's going to be in the completed section. So please know that the completed section does not automatically show. What you'll see first is anything that's due or past due. But then it's very important for kids to understand that once they've turned in an assignment, it's going to show up in the completed section. And that's how they would go back and see their feedback or open it again and things of that nature. So I'm going to walk you through that process. Now, like I said, now this can be kind of overwhelming for some kids to see a long list of assignments. Might be helpful for parents, but for kids, this might be a bit much. So sometimes it's easy for them just to go straight to that one class. For example, my class, I'm Miss Singleton. And then if you just go to that one class at a time and go to the assignments for that particular class, then you can just narrow down to those assignments. So once again, same concept. This is the assigned stuff, anything that's maybe past due that hasn't been completed. And at the bottom is anything that's been completed and turned in. And if there's a check mark on the end, that usually means the teacher's already looked at it and given feedback so that the student can see that. So this is how they would, like I said, go to their assignments, open it up. I will start with a fresh one here that back from Halloween time where the student would have opened it up. There are the directions right here. Now, if the directions, if the student needs a little help with reading or just to make sure they understand, Teams has something called an immersive reader. It's right here. And it's anytime you see a book with a speaker, what that means is it will read the directions or the words on the page to the student. So if I click it right now, it's going to actually say, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it. Let me see.
Halloween drawing fun. Due November 2nd, 2020,
I don't think you guys can
11:59
probably
p.m.
hear it because it's in my headphones, but
Instructions.
it's reading out loud to the
We are
students
going to have some
what
fun mastering how to
what the
use the
directions
drawing.
say. That way, even if a student is still struggling to read, or our new little young babies who are still learning to read, this or they just want to make sure they understood completely what it says. That's a great tool, so they can definitely get the information they need. Also, right next to that is a little gear. Let me move this out of the way. There's a little gear. So for some of the kids, they don't know, they can change the speed. So if the person's reading too fast or too slow, they can change the speed of the reader. They can also change if it's going to be female or male voice, depending on what's their preference. Okay, so these are just some of the tools to help them with the immersive reader. So once they're done listening to the directions or whatever's on that page, they can just hit the back button to go back. So now they know what this says, and then they can just click right here to open up the actual assignment. Now, it may take a little while to open because it depends on the connection speed of everybody's house, but you'll know it's open because everything up here will be, live. It won't be grayed out anymore. Now, this particular assignment, they were practicing using the drawing tool. And once again, there's still an immersive reader because this is a lot of words for kids who may be still struggling to read or just, don't always have the confidence they're going to understand everything. So even once they get here, they can go up to where it says view and then they can click on that same book with the speaker, immersive reader. And once again, it's going to come up. And if they hit the play button, it'll reach them all the,
Learning targets.
it'll be exactly
To
what the
master
directions
the
are on this
drawing
page
tool
as
by
well.
using colors, line size, and the eraser.
And they still have the option as before to change the speed and the volume. And the voice. And so that way we're trying to make sure the kids are successful with everything they can use. And in this particular one, they just had to try to draw a simple pumpkin. This was some Halloween fun. And the directions told them right here to click on the draw tool at the top to pick a color, and there's lots of colors, to pick a thickness of whatever they wanted, and then to just come down here. Whoops, did I pick one? And draw whatever they wanted to draw. Okay, and that was how they use the drawing tool. There's also a typing tool, so depending on the assignment, they might have to type something. So this is one example of how they would open up an assignment, complete it, and then when they're done, they would hit close over in the top right corner right here where it says close. And if it's on time, it'll just say just turn in. If it's late, it'll say turn in late. Better late than never. So I would just say make sure it just says turn in. And they'll know it's turned in because it'll get some kind of like animation of something saying like it's turned in. So they'll know, yep, I did it. And that means now the teachers will see it. So as a teacher, I will know that this person turned this in on this date and this time. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, let's say a student's already completed an assignment. For example, this one's already done. This one will tell you this is the assignment. It was already turned. It tells you when I send it back. Here's the feedback. This is where the teacher might put the grade or some information for the student. For example, this one says, good job, but you didn't finish. Try again, which tells that student that they can go back and try and fix it. So if they want to fix it, they can just open it back up. And then they're going to go back to the assignment. And once again, if they want to hear the directions again, they could always do view immersive reader just to make sure that they read everything correctly. The directions are all listed right here. They might want to just kind of make sure as they go through that they've actually done everything they said just to make sure. And then find where the assignment was. It looks like this person forgot to answer the last question, which is why I sent it back to them to try to redo. So once they've redone it and they think they've got a better job, they just hit close again and they would hit turn in again. And that way they have a chance to actually improve their grade. And so that should be the basis of how to do assignments. And I believe that should be it. Like I said, this is just only one session for assignments. There are many other tools, and I will make some other videos for those platforms at a later date. Hope this helps.